they knew.
Fairview, Ohio, a town of quiet streets, close-knit families, and a secret darker than any nightmare. For 15 long years, an unseen monster stalked these streets, taking young women, one by one. The whispers started subtly, then grew into desperate cries. Missing persons, unexplained disappearances. Every single time the same pattern. Young women, often alone, vanishing into thin air. The town lived in fear, convinced a serial killer was in their midst. But the local police force, the very people sworn to protect them, publicly maintained a chilling, unbelievable facade. No connection, no cause for alarm, isolated incidents. They knew. The first victim was Sarah Peterson, a vibrant 19-year-old in 1985. She vanished after a late shift at the local diner. A year later, it was Emily Roberts, 22. Then Jessica Lange, 18, in 1989. By the time Amanda Green disappeared in 1995, the town was paralyzed. These weren't isolated incidents. This was a predator. The families of the missing women formed support groups, hiring private investigators, holding vigils. They presented their theories to the Fairview Police Department. The similar age range, the disappearances within a 5-mile radius, the lack of struggle or witnesses. It screamed serial killer. But each time, Chief Thomas O'Malley and his detectives offered the same dismissive response. Runaways, isolated abductions. We have no evidence of a connection. As an expert in true crime patterns, I can tell you that these were textbook signs of a serial predator. The geographical clustering, the victimology, the escalating frequency. It's a terrifyingly clear signature. Yet, the Fairview PD seemed blind, or worse, willingly ignorant. The victims' families refused to accept it. They pressured the state. They called the FBI. But without the local police's cooperation, the case remained fragmented, trapped within Fairview's jurisdiction. The killer continued to hunt, emboldened by the very people meant to stop him. In 1998, a young, ambitious detective named Brian Vance joined the Fairview PD. He was fresh out of the academy, full of idealism. He quickly noticed something deeply unsettling. The missing persons files were meticulously kept, but they were isolated. There was no cross-referencing, no attempt to link them. It was as if each case existed in its own vacuum. Vance, against unofficial warnings, started pulling files. He worked late, alone, in the dusty basement archives. He saw the patterns instantly, the similar descriptions of last-seen locations, the consistent lack of forced entry in the few cases where break-ins were suspected. He discovered that in Sarah Peterson's 1985 case, a highly unusual detail was buried. A single, black metal button found near her last known whereabouts. It was logged as unidentified debris. Vance found similar, unexamined items in other victims' files. A small, unique leather strap from Emily Roberts' case. A distinct red and black fiber from Jessica Lange's apartment. Each dismissed as irrelevant, each kept isolated. He went to Chief O'Malley, presenting his findings, pleading for a unified investigation. O'Malley, a man nearing retirement, listened with a cold, dismissive glare. "Detective Vance," he said, tapping a pen on his desk. "We don't need to panic the town. We handle our cases. There's nothing here but coincidence." Vance knew then. O'Malley wasn't just blind. He was actively suppressing the truth. Vance couldn't go to the state. O'Malley had too much influence. He couldn't go to the FBI. Without local cooperation, they were powerless. He had to prove the cover-up from within. He started digging into O'Malley's past. He found old property records, forgotten family photos, and a detail that turned his blood cold. Chief O'Malley, in addition to being police chief, owned a small, defunct lumber mill on the outskirts of town. A mill he had inherited from his father, which had operated up until the late 1980s before shutting down. And Chief O'Malley, in his younger days, had always worn a distinctive, military-style black leather jacket, adorned with unique metal buttons. A jacket his wife had bought him, a fact she'd once mentioned in a forgotten local newspaper article from the 1970s. Vance found the leather jacket in a box of old uniforms in the basement of the station. He carefully extracted a thread. He took the metal button, the leather strap, the fiber from the old case files. He secretly sent them to a private lab. bypassing Fairview PD under the guise of an old evidence audit for another minor case. The results came back quickly and definitively. The metal button from Sarah Peterson's 1985 disappearance was an exact match for the buttons on Chief O'Malley's leather jacket. The small leather strap from Emily Roberts' case was from the exact same type of leather and dye as the jacket's buckle. The red and black fiber from Jessica Lang's apartment was from an old lumber mill employee's uniform, the kind worn at O'Malley's family mill. The evidence was undeniable. The serial killer wasn't just in Fairview. He was the very man in charge of protecting it. Chief Thomas O'Malley was the monster. Vance, armed with the lab results, confronted O'Malley in his office.
It's over.
O'Malley didn't deny it.
Vance.
He simply smiled,
really think
a
you have
chilling,
the upper hand
dead
here.
smile. "You think you're clever, boy?" O'Malley sneered. "I built this town. I kept it safe from real crime. A few runaways, a few accidents. Better than mass panic. Better than the FBI crawling all over my town, exposing my mistakes. I handled it. I always handled it." O'Malley confessed. He had used his position to intercept calls, redirect investigations, dismiss crucial evidence, and manipulate public perception. He knew every victim, often crossing paths with them in his lumber mill or around town. He saw them as disposable, insignificant. His power shielded him. He was the perfect predator, protected by the very badge he wore. He wasn't just covering up his crimes, he was actively managing the police response to them. The shockwaves were catastrophic. Not only was Chief O'Malley a serial killer, but his own force, either through willful ignorance, fear, or complicity, had allowed it to happen for 15 years. The isolated incidents were a lie to protect the department's image, and ultimately, O'Malley himself. Detective Brian Vance, with the help of a few trusted state agents he secretly contacted, secured Chief O'Malley's arrest. The investigation that followed unearthed more victims, bringing the total to 8. O'Malley, faced with irrefutable evidence and Vance's meticulous case building, eventually confessed, detailing each horrific murder. The town of Fairview was shattered. The trust in law enforcement was irrevocably broken. The pain of the victims' families, compounded by the knowledge that the police knew, was immeasurable. But O'Malley's conviction, a lifetime behind bars, finally brought a measure of justice. This case is a stark reminder. When those sworn to protect become the predators, and when institutions prioritize their image over human lives, the echo of crime resonates not just from the killer, but from the very system meant to stop him. Detective Vance's courage didn't just catch a killer. It exposed a fundamental betrayal of trust that left scars on an entire community. The cover-up was real, and they knew. If this shocking story of betrayal and hidden truth left you speechless, hit the like button and subscribe to Echoes of Crime. We uncover the darkest secrets hidden within the justice system. What's your take on cases where law enforcement actively covers up crimes? Let us know in the comments below. And for another case where authorities ignored desperate pleas, check out our video linked here.